Good evening. This is 8 o'clock in the United Kingdom. Gary speaking. This is Golden Nugget Nation Q&A. Thank you for appearing. Please click that you like. I would love your comments, so please give me comments. I do read every one of them. Someday I hope I can say I have a staff who reads every one of them, but right now I'm the one responsible for everything, and that's the joy of being an entrepreneur, isn't it? But one of the things that came across this week was a couple people saying, with the sanctions with Russia, the lack of shipping, problems with getting product from one location to another, I have suppliers that are going out of business, so I can't deliver promised goods or goods that are on offer. And what's the best way for me to deal with this? Well, this is a real issue for every entrepreneur, because one of the things that will always mess up your business is if you require something from someone else that they're able to deliver to you what it is that you're counting on. It's long been my understanding from my youth that I should always go and compare and contrast insurance policies on my car every 18 months, no more than every 2 years, just to find who is going to give me the best coverage for the least amount of money, that also has a very good reputation for standing by you as their client. Now, there's a lot of companies out there that will take your money, give you insurance, but when it comes time for you to file a claim, they're extremely slow, very difficult, and hard to deal with in getting you a fair adjustment and your vehicle repaired in a timely manner. There are also other companies who will charge you a lot of money, but you will almost feel like you have some, what can I call it? Multi-millionaire experience, and it's costing you a lot to have it, where they take care of everything from the time you make the phone call to the time your car is delivered. You have a rental car, you have a chauffeur, all these crazy things that are there, but you're paying a lot for it. At the same time, just slightly above the low guys, you can find very good service, reputable people who will do exactly what your contract has said that they will do. If you have a rental car agreement in there, they'll have a rental car. If you say you take it to our guy and we will only charge you the see, in the UK they call it excess, and in America I think they call it your a deductible. But what it is the amount of money you need to pay for anytime you've had a collision. Now, there are some companies that will just come right out and tell you point blank, well, your car we're not going to fix, and we're only going to give you X amount of pounds. You can actually find companies that will actually say, if your car is not declared totaled by us, then we will repair it. Now, that's really simple. An adjuster can go out there and say, well, I would declare your car that you depend on totaled, and we will say to you that your vehicle that you paid at a used car shop, dealership, 2,000 for 3 months ago, it's only worth $7,000 or $700 today. And so you have to take it, but your vehicle runs, all you have is cosmetic damage, but they want to declare your vehicle totaled, and therefore you cannot sell it on, you can't take it out for parts, you can't do anything that you want to do with it. they're saying you have to take the $700. And if you say, well, no, I want the car repaired, well, we're only going to give you $500 because we're now dropping the value of your car. It's taken 2 weeks to get to this point with you. And so they kind of hold the sledgehammer over your head. But there are other companies that will sit there and they will work with you. They say, we want to have you as a long-term customer. Yeah, it's in our interest to declare it total for 700. But look, if you're willing to come up with 300 more dollars, we can get your car fixed so that you can get it roadworthy and back on the road. That might be above your excess. That might be above your deductible. But the most important concept is you still have your car and it has now been repaired to a standard that is safe and you can take it back on the road. You have some choices. So what I'm trying to put out to you is you always have to be looking at your supply. You always have to be looking for who supplies something else that I want to have, or who can supply what's similar. The other aspect that you have to look at is, do I need to actually change my prices because everybody else is changing their prices? It's always great to be the guy that's not at the highest pinnacle peak, unless you're offering something way up there. So if you're sitting there saying, I'm selling Bentleys, I'm selling Rolls Royces, the price point is $250,000, you will pay $250,000 for my vehicle. We only are making 500, 700 of these vehicles a year. If you want one, we got a waiting list. Versus somebody who is selling the old Ford Pinto, for example. Millions of them were being made. Somebody would be asking for $2,000 for it, and somebody else for the same car, identical tag, everything in it, would be asking $1,700 for it. Why is that? Because everybody has a choice on what they want to do. They're getting it from the same supplier. Now, you as an entrepreneur, you have to be really meticulous and thorough and make sure that the item that you're getting is exactly what you are offering to people. And you have to find suppliers. And sometimes it's kind of like, I really like the price this supplier is offering. And he promises me that he can give me a turnaround in 24 hours or, whatever the deal is, and that it's going to be shipped, and that shipping within the country that I'm servicing or the area that I'm servicing in the world, that will come back to me very, very rapidly. They're able to get it shipped across the country within 3 days from the time that the order is placed, and they can't do it. They come back with all these excuses. We're having distribution problems. Our carriers need extra time. There's fuel costs, etc., that are going in. We're going to have to raise our prices on you. Well, that you've already sold it for X price. Now it's hard for you to go back to the customer and say, we're going to have a surcharge on this, or you're going to have to deduct from your take so that your customer can have the item. So you need to be making sure that the supplier you have, even if it's a little bit more in your price pointing, you have to sit there and say, well, this guy not only has it, he has X amount on the shelf, he's ready to service, he can do this, so I'm going to have to pay more on my behalf to get that out so that I have a happy customer who comes back to me. And so here we are, we're living in a time where I honestly think, because everybody has gotten involved in sanctions, doesn't matter what country you're in, it seems like your country is sanctioning somebody else right now. And people are sitting back and saying, the supplies are getting thin. The delivery times are starting to look like they're getting longer. The products that are being promised are not showing up. And I want you to understand that as an entrepreneur, this is your challenge. This is what you need to work through. And I know you can. I know you will. And so, again, it always comes back to the entrepreneur. You are 100% responsible for everything. 100%. You can't get out of it. You can't sit back and say, but they promised me. Yeah, there's a lot of broken promises on the planet. You as an entrepreneur have to decide whether you are one of those people who break promises or you fulfill them every time. Because I'll tell you what, if I'm your customer and you don't fulfill your promise, you probably won't be seeing me again, unless you're the only person on this planet who's actually supplying the item I want. And so that's it for this week. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, I'm sorry about that, but let me know. I want to hear from everybody. Please subscribe. Please click on the bell so you know when new things come up. I want you to have a prosperous week. We only have a couple of weeks left in the month of May, and May is a spectacular month to be successful. There is so much opportunity. And as an entrepreneur, look for the opportunity, find those golden seeds that are leading you to success, because they are behind every dark cloud. And with that, I will see you next week. Thank you. Have a great week. Bye.